Joining us now, the A-Team Wall Street Journal opinion page editor, James Taranto, National Review online contributing editor, DeRoy Murdoch. Well, gentlemen, good to have you both here. DeRoy, let's start with you. Your reaction, first of all, to the claim that by Ed Klein that President Clinton hates President Obama. Why did he save his bacon then in 2012?
Well, remember, he can have these personal difficulties if he wants, but Bill Clinton's still one of the top Democrats in the country, and I think the other Democrats in the U.S. expect him to step up and help the other Democrat nominee get elected. And if he hadn't done that, they'd be a lot less enthused about supporting Hillary Clinton. So he probably bit down on his lip, as he's done before, and thought, well, I guess I'll save Obama, and that will tee things up for Hillary Clinton in 2016.
Your thoughts, James?
Well, it was clear in 2008 that the feelings between the Clintons and the Obamas were not one of mutual love and admiration. And DeRoy is right. This is the Clintons had a job to do. Obama has a job to do as 2016 approaches, assuming that Mrs. Clinton decides to run. And it was once said, I don't belong to a organized political party. I'm a Democrat. But these days, the Democrats are better than the Republicans at this sort of unity.
Well, it's to be seen. We face a general election here. The president has been rebuked again by the Supreme Court. He's lost 12 unanimous decisions. It gets worse and worse for this president.
Yeah, and by the way, two of those decisions were this week. The recess appointment case yesterday, and on Wednesday we had the case involving police searches of cell phones, which was Riley versus California, but there was a companion case that was a federal case in which the administration took the same side that California did. Supreme Court said unanimously you need a warrant to search a cell phone. And with this administration facing unanimous decisions, and by the way, more unanimous decisions over the course of the past year and a half than we have seen previously, including the two Obama appointees. Yeah. These appointees were supposed to be committed ideologues who could never rise above their partisanship to render an objective ruling.
I think it gives us a really clear indication of how expansive Obama's view is of federal power, that the president can go about and do pretty much as he wishes, so much so that even his own appointees, the court said, we can't go along with that. People have complained in the past, oh, the court's so divided, it's so controversial, 5-4. Well, now it's unanimous, so I hope these people who complained are happy. And you've even got left-wing liberal justices saying no to Obama. It's really quite spectacular.
And the particularly interesting thing about the recess appointment case was the four conservative justices wanted to go much further and basically strike down recess appointments as they've been conducted since the 19th century. I think they had a good argument there based on the language of the Constitution. But what Justice Breyer and Justice Kennedy and the other Democratic appointees said was, well, we have respect for the historical record, but Obama, and Obama alone, he's the only one who's done this, tried to make recess appointments when the Senate was actually in session. That just was a bridge too far, even for Breyer and Sotomayor and Kagan.
You wouldn't think you'd need the Supreme Court to remind the President of the United States that the Senate decides when it's in session, not the President of the United States deciding when the Senate's in session. But even something as basic and sort of first or second grade civics as that is, the Supreme Court had to come in and educate the so-called constitutional scholar on that matter.
Well, amongst the educations required of this presidency, it includes reminding them that citizens have rights, as in the case of the EPA versus the Sacketts, a couple who had to stand against this fearsome, powerful agency, ruling with the state of Arizona, rebuking the Attorney General, the President, and the entire immigration apparatus of this administration. First, I'd like to turn quickly to the crisis on our border. This kills, does it not, any hope on the part of those who have such hopes for amnesty this year?
Well, I think the killing of the hope for amnesty this year is, as social scientists say, overdetermined. There are any number of things that were sufficient to kill the hope for it. Cantor's loss. I don't think there was ever much hope of it in the first place because, we saw with that Obama speech you played earlier, there's so much distrust between the two parties. There's just no way they're going to reach a compromise. I think
there's also such a thing as just idiotic policy, bad policy. And to say that it's because people oppose it that they should, what should be the result?
It's totally chaotic. I mean, look, some people have very open-minded views on immigration. We're a wealthy country; we can let a lot of people in. But there's got to be some order here. You don't just run over the border.
Yeah, and by the way, that's not such an open-minded idea if it impoverishes millions of American
absolutely.
citizens who can't find jobs.
I know
right?
that it's a very controversial view, but I mean, I think I don't think anybody.
Well, I'm not
really
saying it's controversial. I'm just raising the.
And I think, look,
the
one of the big problem we have is people coming across the border with things like MRSA, staph infection, measles, drug-resistant tuberculosis. This is deadly stuff, and God forbid we get a tuberculosis outbreak in the country because this president has decided that we'll have, that the border will be as open as his red lines in the sand.
Do you believe the president should enforce border security?
Well, sure.
Good. Does that make it unanimous here tonight?
I think it's unanimous.
All right, great. DeRoy Murdoch, James Toronto. Gentlemen, thank you very much.